12,000 years ago, the Ice Age ended. If you remember, I told you that during Paleolithic time we are going to see several periods of very, very cold weather. These periods that we call Ice Ages are going to finish around 10,000 years before Christ. Between the 10,000 before Christ to 8,000 before Christ, in a long process, the Earth temperatures are going to increase and some areas of the Earth are going to dry up. That means that almost all the species of plants and animals that people knew from Paleolithic time are going to disappear, being extinguished. So people are going to find a new way of getting food, and this new way is going to be agriculture and livestock. You can read carefully this slide and all the information that you have here to know how that process happened. At the beginning, we have a situation of drying up, and almost all the plants and animals that survive are going to concentrate in some areas. These some areas, we call them oases because they were areas with a good weather and water enough to support the life. In these areas, the men and women are going to live just close to animals and plants and observe how the nature works. So, at some points, observing the process of the plants and the animals, they are going to decide starting to plant and breeding animals. Is the way in which agriculture borns. So, the first time that agriculture and livestock appear for the first time was in the Fertile Crescent, here in the Near East. You can see Europe here, Africa here, this is Asia, America and Oceania, and you are going to see that the first point of appearance of agriculture is here, in this area that we call to Mesopotamia. In this area between Turkey and Arabia, for the first time human beings are going to cultivate wheat and breed animals like goats. From here is going to spread the new agriculture and livestock to Europe, to north of Africa, and some parts of Asia. Then, a little later, we find new focus of Neolithization. These new focus were first China and then America. In the first one, in the Fertile Crescent, the wheat, it means trigo, is going to be the cereal that they cultivate for the first time. In China, it could be the rice, arroz. And in America, it's going to be the corn, maíz. But what is the important meaning of agriculture? Well, the key is to understand that we pass from a predatory economy to a producer economy. The meaning of that is that during Paleolithic time, people get food from nature. They only have to take whatever they want to survive. So they don't produce anything. They only took things from nature. That's what we call predatory behavior. It's the same that other animals. The animals get food from nature and human beings get food from nature too during Paleolithic. But in Neolithic, everything changed. Thanks to agriculture and livestock, we are going to find that people are producing their own food. They didn't take from nature directly what they need. They produce their own food. They breed animals and they cultivate plants. That's an amazing change on the way of living of human beings. And it's going to be very important because the mind of the men and women at this point are going to change. It's going to change a lot. Imagine that you start controlling the environment. Human beings during Neolithic change the landscape, cultivate plants that they don't exist before in this area, bring animals and control the animals. They control the cycles of reproduction of animals and plants and were able to create their own food. That seems to meaning for them that they were superior to other animals. They were different. So because of that, everything started to change. And that's why we talk about Neolithic Revolution, because it was a radical change in our life.